after last week's podcast, we started to hear, I guess, mumblings, and then some bigger people that write for websites and deliver scoops were like, well, actually, yeah, Charlie Cox has finished shooting his scenes for Daredevil, as
That's
Daredevil for
fine.
Spider-Man, and that's that. And we were all like, what? Okay.
I do not believe this still.
I, I, I don't know why. Like, I'm just reluctant to. I don't want to build myself up for Daredevil. That's my problem. Like, I don't want to build myself up then be let down if it's not true. That's because I've seen a
Because
lot
like,
of
look,
people do it.
we got pictures of Maguire
Yeah,
right by the set. If Cox was there, people would have got him.
you would
We've
think,
seen
right?
nothing. Absolutely nothing. No one else is picking up on this. Like, there's literally two places that have talked about this, and it's like, I don't believe it. And until, now I'm not saying it's 100% wrong. Until he's in some kind of marketing, because he's going to be in some kind of marketing,
You would think, right?
or if not, until we see him in the film, I am not believing this whatsoever.
I mean, here's the thing. This is Sony, so the likely way we're going to get this confirmed is a leak of Daredevil on the Dr. Pepper can.
I mean, I'll just wait for them to upload the movie to YouTube again.
Oh, true, true.
Someone will inevitably grab the screenshot and get a couple of gifts. So, given that, what, November, a month before release?
Yeah. Which, again, I think the whole thing with why I'm so reluctant, it's like, look, I'll talk about it, I'll get excited, but I'm still kind of like in that position where it's Daredevil and so many people want it to happen. And we keep hearing reports being like, well, it's going to be like this is how they're going to handle it. No, they're going to do it like this. There's so many different things that go into just bringing Daredevil into it. If he's just there as Peter's lawyer, that can work. But it also does bring up another bunch of problems, right? Because the character needs at least 10 minutes to himself to be able to establish who this is for new people. Like Spider-Man in Civil War. They
I was
gave
going
you.
to say, like, Civil War did it, yeah.
Right, you need that. So are they going to have a scene where Peter is swinging around and he's on a building cold during the winter and suddenly Daredevil drops in? He's like, hey kid, I'm Matt Murdock. I'm a lawyer. Okay, so this one time I fought the Kingpin and this Bullseye guy, and here's how I got here. Okay, now don't punch me in the ribs because I don't want to die, but let's go fight whoever the hell, and then I'll defend you in court. It's like, wait, what? Like,
No, I think if anything, it'll just be like he shows up to the death law firm, and it's that.
yeah.
Like, if anything, I don't think you see him as Daredevil. I think it's purely as Matt Murdock.
I mean, I 100% believe with that. I don't think we would see Daredevil. Like, yeah, Matt
Like, you
Murdock
can
is
drop
that's
you
it.
can drop a hint at the suit or something like that, but I wouldn't show him in full suit unless he's going to be in the third act, and then yeah, you can maybe bring him in the suit by some, just really forcing it in there because God knows what this movie's going to be about.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that in another discussion we're gonna have. But that's sort of the thing, right? Like, if he just shows up as a lawyer in a law firm and it's him and like, let's say Foggy or something, that can work. But it runs into that issue where there will be people that are like, I don't get it. What's important, right? Like, why is this guy? Because
Yeah.
it's a little, it's hard to pull off. And I know, like, if you're listening to this podcast, look, you're not the everybody out there. You know what the hell
No.
Eternals is. Guess what? Nobody else does outside of our circle because there's been nothing on it. It's not mainstream. So there will be those people that are like, I don't get it. What's a Matt Murdock? Like, oh, you don't know that's Daredevil,
I
right?
say you'll get like the billion and one IGN articles about why it's important and who he
Yep.
is, but outside of that, not everyone reads those things. So, yeah.
Exactly. Like, it runs into a weird situation. And, I'm hopeful. I will remain optimistic that Daredevil will appear in this, or at least Charlie Cox maybe has a small cameo or something. There is, obviously elements of the casting calls and everything we've seen that hint towards courtroom scenes, and there's weird allusions to where Nelson and Murdoch take place. So it's like, we'll figure
But
it out.
even with all that, there's a massive breadcrumb trail that you could say leads to that. The timeline doesn't add up.
Yeah.
It's that this came out a day after they officially got him back. If Netflix knew, or like, even if that was official, if Netflix were like, "Hey, you worked with Charlie Cox on a new contract while we still had the rights for those shows, yeah, we're gonna sue you for that."
Right.
It doesn't add up to me. They can't. They can obviously have unofficial talks. They're gonna have unofficial talks.
Yeah.
They're gonna talk to him officially afterwards. They're not gonna have a contract like and him filming a brand new movie while it's not under their control.
Right.
It doesn't add up to me.
Unless
If
Sony
it
ponied up the money and major money to make this happen.
Yeah, because Netflix would want a lot of money for this.
Yeah.
Netflix are in a hell of a ton of debt, and the biggest studio right now comes up to you is like, "Hey, we want this character." Like, Netflix are naming a price that I don't think Disney and Marvel are going to want to pay. They're like, "Yeah, we're just going to. Why pay that when we can wait a month?"
Exactly.
It's no sense. It's if it happens, it happens. Great, fantastic. I'd be the first to say I was wrong and enjoy the movie and go about my life.
Yep.
Just the dog's going to say right now. But it doesn't happen, I ain't going to be surprised. I don't think anyone else should be surprised.
No, not at all. And we'll see, because, it's a matter of time till we get something confirmed. So I guess it's just a wait and see approach. So we'll get back around to this when we get...
Actually, that's a fair point from the Twitch chat. No one knew who the old Jarvis was from the Peggy Carter show in Endgame, but he was still in there. The difference with that, though, is that was a little nod to something else.
What, 2 seconds maybe?
That's a little like, hey, this person exists. It's not a, hey, this is a property we got back now and we're going to use. Here's a new character.
Exactly.
Like, every character they've introduced has had at least 10 minutes to themselves.
Right.
And then been in the final act. That's just how it tends to work.